Wall Furniture Outlets.
Attention! WFO declares war. Wall Furniture Outlets declares war on the competition with the guaranteed lowest prices on every wall unit, every bookcase, and every entertainment center. We will not be undersold because WFO has the largest selection in the tri-state area. So buy with confidence. Wall Furniture Outlets. We make the most of your walls.
Look for our newest location on Route 10 in East Hanover, New Jersey, next to Roy Rogers.
In the next minute, you're going to hear about one of the greatest investments possible. This man made it, and so did thousands like him. It was an investment in their self-esteem, their self-image, and the moment they made it, their lives began to change. You see, all these men suffered from baldness, and all found new confidence and vitality at the Hair Club for Men.
The Hair Club's changed my life. I used to be shy, self-conscious, but not anymore.
Let's face it, you deserve the most out of life, and the Hair Club for Men offers you that opportunity with one of the most carefully developed, natural-looking human hair replacement systems available today. Call now for your free brochure. Discover the difference our strand-by-strand system can make in your life. And I'm not just saying that because I'm the Hair Club president. I'm also a client.
Adam Clayton Powell, Jr. telling his own story today at 1.
From ABC News, The Weekend Report. Here's Barry Seraphin.
Good evening. There were more concessions and more resignations of Communist Party leaders in Czechoslovakia today, but they were not enough to satisfy more than 500,000 demonstrators who took to the streets demanding democracy. It was the biggest rally in that country's history. ABC's Hillary Bowker was there.
Czechoslovakia's communist rulers are no longer unaccountable. These people are celebrating their first victory, yesterday's resignation of the entire Politburo. But they are by no means satisfied.
We need much more. This is only partial change.
We wish our people that the Communist Party goes away, and we wish democracy.
The hardliners still hold the tools of power, playwright Václav Havel warned. They've cheated us with leadership changes before. We must be ready to stage a permanent strike to achieve the goal of democracy. Such inflammatory statements are unprecedented here. So was the live TV coverage. They're taunting a hardline Politburo member, and their insistent calls for his resignation are pushing him out. One former Politburo member the people would like to stay in is Prime Minister Ladislav Adamec. He's supposed to meet with members of the Reform Movement Civic Forum again tomorrow. They rejoiced at the news that 7 jailed dissidents were free.
Political prisoners are now on their way home.
Czechoslovakia's new party boss made a statement on TV tonight. Although he sounded conciliatory, he made no firm commitment to reform. That is unlikely to be enough for his people. As one leading dissident said today, the door to change is ajar, and we must keep the pressure on until it is wide open. Hillary Bowker, ABC News, Prague.
The stunning changes sweeping across Eastern Europe are expected to be at the top of the agenda when President Bush and Soviet President Gorbachev hold their first summit meeting a week from now in Malta. Nothing symbolizes those changes more than the not-so-divided city of Berlin, as Barry Dunsmore reports.
President Bush has said that he and Mr. Gorbachev are not going to be redrawing the map of Europe during their Malta meeting. But with the breaching of the Berlin Wall, the map of Europe has in a sense already been redrawn, inasmuch as it fundamentally changes the situation which has prevailed since the end of World War II.
Berlin has been the front line of the Cold War. It has been the place where the forces of NATO and the Warsaw Pact have an actual point of contact. Soviet troops in West Berlin guard a war memorial which includes 2 of the tanks which captured the city. 385,000 additional Soviet troops are based in East Germany. U.S. troops in West Berlin man the famous Checkpoint Charlie, which used to be one of the few crossing points between West and East. U.S. forces in West Germany number around 300,000. With NATO forces in West Germany and Warsaw Pact troops in East Germany, this is the most heavily armed area in the world. And for most of the past 40 years, It was the place where the military strategists of both sides assumed World War III would begin. But given the revolutions in Eastern Europe this past year, all revolutions encouraged by the Soviet Union, U.S. Defense Secretary Cheney could now say this.
Well, I think that it's clear that the likelihood of all-out conflict between the U.S. and the Soviet Union, between NATO and the Warsaw Pact, is probably lower now than it's been at just about any time since the end of World War II.
With the wall now open, that is the way the German people feel. Reunification aside, Germans believe their world has been totally changed, and they are eventually going to demand that the military situation in their country begin to reflect new political realities. When Presidents Bush and Gorbachev meet next weekend in Malta, they will not make final decisions on the future of Europe, but they almost certainly will agree that the best way to end the Cold War is with significant cuts of American and Soviet forces in West and East Germany. Barry Dunsmore, ABC News, Berlin.
Elsewhere, South African President F.W. de Klerk says apartheid cannot succeed in his country. In an interview with Newsweek and the Washington Post, de Klerk says the ruling National Party has accepted the fact that all South Africans must share power.
The Weekend Report, brought to you by 3M.
Anyone who drives at night knows how important road signage is to safety. That's why 3M is improving signs like this, with brighter signs like this, made with reflective materials invented by 3M to help you see better at night. In fact, the sign on the right is up to 10 times brighter than the sign on the left. And that makes a difference anyone can see. 3M Reflective Materials, another example of how a 3M innovation is working for you.
A Canon color laser copier makes drawings and photos come alive with digital technology. And that makes quite an impression. The Canon color laser copier, the digital difference.
Really love that, huh?
Raisin Bran lover numero uno, pal.
Well, you'll have to eat 4 bowls. 4 bowls. To equal the vitamin nutrition in 1 bowl of total. More nutrition than any other.
That makes total
Numero uno, pal.
The weekend after Thanksgiving has become a kind of starting gun for the Christmas holiday countdown. That means shopping, and America's biggest buying spree is underway. But John McKenzie reports that merchants are not necessarily merry this season about Christmas sales.
To retailers across the country, the Christmas shopping season is the most important season of the year. But in this slowing economy, many already are starting to worry.
Analysts expect consumer spending this Christmas to rise by a modest 5 or 6%, but after inflation, that could mean only a 2 or 3% increase. In some stores say even that may be optimistic.
So many are doing whatever they can to lure new customers and log more sales. The clearest sign of that has been the sale sign popping up throughout many department stores.
Well, we've been getting good deals, 40 and 50% off a lot of items.
In addition to lowering prices, many stores are now raising the quality of service.
And we have more people on the floor than we've ever had before. We have more full-time employees in the store than we've ever had before. And we also have a commission program in the store, which we think will really improve the customer service.
So this Christmas season may be one of the best in years for shoppers to jump right in. But no need to rush. Christmas is still a month away. John McKenzie, ABC News, New York.
The astronauts aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery are packing up for a return to Earth. Although NASA has kept the public in the dark about the shuttle's secret military mission, Discovery reportedly deployed a spy satellite. NASA did confirm today that the shuttle will land in the California desert late tomorrow in the dark.
It's 11:35, and Roseanne Horn is learning all about her antifreeze. The hard way. Don't push your luck. Guarantee it. With advanced formula Prestone.
Come on, answer.
When it's late and your productivity is falling off, you can splash a little water on your face, or better yet, revive with Vivarin. Government-appointed experts say it's safe and works, and all you need is 1 glass of water. So revive with Vivarin.
You kept thinking it will stop, it will at some point, but it went on forever. But there was glass everywhere.
In the living room, I have a 700-pound soapstone wood-burning stove that had bounced all the way across the living room, sitting in the middle of the floor.
It was obvious from the very beginning that our house was no longer habitable. I called my agent and told him we needed to find temporary housing. Within 48 hours, Allstate had written me a check to pay for our moving expenses and for our rent. I expected bean pushers, and I got sensitive people instead.
Sunday on This Week with David Brinkley, the savings and loan crisis, a case of ethics that could affect us all. Guests include Senator John Glenn. Sunday.
A small plane carrying weapons to leftist guerrillas in El Salvador crashed today east of the capital city of San Salvador. 3 crewmen were killed. The 4th reportedly committed suicide. Later, 2 journalists were wounded by rebel gunfire as they flew in a helicopter near the crash site. Meanwhile, the guerrillas' latest offensive appears to have subsided, but the 2-week attack has left more than 1,500 civilians dead or wounded. ABC's Bonnie Strauss reports that some Americans in California are reaching out to help the victims of El Salvador's civil war.
We're picking up the slack of what the government officially should be doing more of.
Roman Catholic Archbishop Roger Mahoney criticized the U.S. government for not doing enough to help innocent victims of the civil war in El Salvador as he prepared to fly to that country. Outraged by the recent shootings and murders, Mahoney and a relief organization collected 40 tons of food and medical supplies in just 1 week for civilians wounded in the crossfire between the army and rebel troops.
I just think this is an opportunity for us, church to church, city to city, people to people, to make a difference.
More than 1,400 people have been wounded in the last 2 weeks alone, and doctors say the medical situation there is critical.
The people here in El Salvador need this medicine. We are very happy that you help us.
While there's optimism about this mission, there's also concern that the government might try to confiscate the goods before they reach the church.
In a country where archbishops can be murdered in the middle of a mass, nothing is certain.
But if this mission is successful, 25 additional tons of supplies will soon follow. Bonnie Strauss, ABC News, Los Angeles.
When we come back, getting a head start on medical school.
My husband, Elliot, he's an inventor. He's made a very good life for both of us. Last year, this big company paid a lot of money for one of his ideas. Elliot even thought about opening his own company, but in the end, we decided to invest the money. Besides, I'm not sure Elliot's cut out to work in an office anyway.
To invest tax-free with John Nuveen and Company, call your financial advisor or this number.
If I had a Z, it'd be silver. No, black. And I'd take it to a racetrack. Hold it. Nah, drive it cross country. That's what I'd do. Wait, Germany. Yeah, now that'd be epic. Running a Z flat out on the Autobahn. Too bad you can't drive to Europe.
The prescription for medical school is a lot of hard work, long hours, maybe even a little luck. And for minority students from the inner city, the path to med school can be even tougher. So to remedy that, one program is getting some would-be doctors started even before they've left high school. More from Carol Simpson.
The program is a cooperative effort between the Albert Einstein College of Medicine and 2 Bronx high schools. It's not an entree into medical school. It's an opportunity to see what it's like to be a health professional.
These are normal run-of-the-mill students, and they're not chosen for intelligence. They're chosen for motivation and interest.
16-year-old Fatima Shama follows doctors on the obstetrics floor of Bronx Municipal Hospital Center.
I've seen cesarean sections. I've seen tubal ligations. I've seen stillbirths. I've seen deliveries, vaginal deliveries. It was a great experience for me.
She's gotten at least a general sense of what it is that attracts people to this field and what makes them stay in it.
Melanie Rodriguez is also 16, but she's already spent time on the obstetrics ward. Melanie spends 2 afternoons a week in special classes learning about the realities of a career in health.
Just because we're minorities doesn't mean we can't make it. We can make it out there, and it's opened a lot of doors for me.
Most of the students in the program do go on to college, and officials say it's that kind of determination that has made the difference. Barry?
Thanks, Carol. More on the med school program and other health news tomorrow on ABC's Health Show. And that's our report. I'm Barry Seraphin. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.
This has been the Weekend Report. Tomorrow, watch ABC's World News Sunday for a complete look at the day's top stories. This has been a presentation of ABC News, where more Americans get their news than from any other source.
She's blind. She's alone. She's the target of her husband's killers.
Hello, lover.
Victoria Principal, blind witness, tomorrow.
Dial a mattress. For over 10 years, the easiest way to buy a brand new mattress without leaving home. Just pick up the phone and dial M-A-T-T-R-E-S. You'll get the lowest prices on Sealy Posturepedic, Serta Perfect Sleeper, and Simmons Beauty Rest. You'll get express 2-hour delivery. That's right, 2-hour delivery, and you only pay our driver upon your approval. Dial M-A-T-T-R-E-S and leave off the last S for savings.
Petland Discounts, Petland we care. I'm Neil Padgett, president of Petland Discounts, the tri-state area's largest chain of pet shops.
Say, you like nature? A home aquarium lets you enjoy beautiful fish in a natural setting. And for your aquarium, there's nothing better than world-famous Tetra products. If fish could talk, we'd ask for Tetra.
Petland Discounts, Petland we care.
Now over 50 convenient locations, all open 7 days.